In a village surrounded by deep forests and misty rivers, there was a legend about an invisible bridge. It was said that the bridge appeared only to those who truly believed in themselves. The river beneath it was wild and untamed, and no one had ever crossed to the other side. A young boy named Varun often sat by the river, gazing at the endless mist beyond. He had grown up listening to stories about the invisible bridge, but no one in the village had ever dared to search for it. Most believed it was just a myth. But Varun was different. He wanted to see what lay beyond the mist. One day, he went to the village elder, an old man with eyes that had seen many seasons. "Elder, how can I find the invisible bridge?" Varun asked. The elder smiled. "To see the bridge, you must first believe it exists. And to cross it, you must believe in yourself." Varun didn't fully understand, but he decided to try. The next morning, he stood at the riverbank and took a deep breath. "The bridge is there," he whispered. He lifted his foot and stepped forward. His foot landed on nothing but air, and he tumbled into the river. The villagers laughed at him when he returned, soaked and shivering. "Foolish boy! Wasting your time on a legend," they mocked. But Varun was not discouraged. The next day, he tried again. And the next. Each time, he fell into the river. The villagers eventually stopped watching, shaking their heads at his stubbornness. One evening, after another failed attempt, Varun sat by the river, exhausted and defeated. A soft voice interrupted his thoughts. "Why do you keep trying?" Varun turned and saw a blind man sitting nearby. "Because I believe the bridge is real," Varun said. The blind man nodded. "Then why do you doubt yourself every time you step forward?" Varun stared at him, speechless. Was that why he kept falling? Was his belief in the bridge weaker than his fear of falling? The next morning, he stood at the river's edge again. This time, he took a deep breath, cleared his mind, and silenced his fear. "The bridge is real. I will walk across." He stepped forward. His foot landed on something solid. Varun gasped but did not hesitate. He took another step, then another. The mist around him parted, revealing a shimmering bridge beneath his feet. It had been there all along, waiting for someone who truly believed. The villagers were stunned when they saw him standing on the other side of the river. None had ever imagined it possible. Inspired by Varun, others began to try. Some fell because doubt still held them back, but a few, with enough faith, crossed successfully. Varun became the first to walk beyond the mist, discovering lands no villager had ever seen. But more importantly, he had learned the greatest truth: the invisible bridge had never been about crossing the river. It was about crossing the barriers of fear and doubt within oneself. Moral of the story: belief in oneself is the bridge to every impossible dream. Doubt will make you fall, but true faith in your abilities will carry you forward.